Yo, so guys, this skills. So today we're gonna go ahead and talk about the new final boss, Elizabeth and Meliodas. So they're finally coming to global now. This is actually very fast compared to what JP had them at. So essentially they are coming now. To watch the video real quick, I think this actually means that we are gonna be getting a specific character. So if we watch this, you'll see Elizabeth, obviously, Meliodas, boss battle, they're coming. And if we pause right there, actually, if we stop right there, Airy. So what that means is that Airy is also coming to the game, so which is a really cool thing to note. Now it's essentially you need to be summoning for her because she's gonna be a very fantastic unit. One, for guild boss. Two, she might be even good for this. I never used her on JP's side. I don't even think she was out or not. I don't remember exactly, to be honest. It's been a long time. So it's finally here though. This is the costumes. I don't like Meliodas' costume. Elizabeth has a much better costume, but Meliodas' looks a little weird. But essentially they're dual. Okay, yeah, there you go. So she is coming. That is literally right there. I didn't expect them to actually show us. So bottom line, you're dead. Red Airy is gonna be super fun to use. So when she comes out, I expect you guys to summon for her because she's just gonna be amazing to have. PvP, they're gonna have two characters of it. There's gonna be the red one and the green one. I think the green one should be coming out with her. I didn't see her there, so I'm not even sure yet. It was only showing the red one. But essentially, she's a good unit. We're going to be definitely summoning for her when she comes out, so look forward to those summons. Now, to talk about the units themselves, I guess, like the characters, they're both speed attributes, so blue type. Essentially, you need to use green type to beat them better, I guess. But right here, it says attribute advantage and disadvantage are disabled, so I guess it doesn't matter. I think in JP it didn't matter either, but I'm not too sure. If you guys know, let me know in the comments below because I don't remember JP's version at all. But he's immune to corrosion, stun, and petrifies, but you can freeze, so which is really good because if you freeze, you can still attack and do high damage. The only bad thing is that Meliodas does recover from the freeze at the beginning of the next turn. So if you are freezing, you can't really stop him because he will just break out of it and attack you essentially. But if you have an ultimate ready to use your freeze and then attack with your ultimate, because you most likely will one-shot Meliodas that way. So Meliodas is unaffected by attack disable effects when his ultimate move gauge has 4 orbs or less, so you can't seal him with attacks. Like for example, Gothers. You can use Gother for the rank ups, but you can't use disable attacks because of this effect or whatever you want to call it. So difficulty for hard, extreme, and hell will be here. Hell is it's not gonna be too hard. At this point, your gear should be at least 170,000 plus with how far the game has come along so far. So you shouldn't have any issues with that. So try doing hell as much as possible if you want to get the rewards as fast as possible. So look into that. But essentially, phase 1, Meliodas' counter will only activate against skills with debuff effects. So if you are attacking with, let's just say, Escanor has a debuff card on his second, the sun, I guess, the cruel sun. He can debuff, you will get attacked. If you use his first skill attack though, you won't get attacked from his full counter. So you have to be careful with how you use your cards just in case. Now it only activates for I think the first or second turn, and then after that it takes it off. So just know that. Elizabeth's ultimate move applies a regenerate, or I guess it basically heals him and heals her after a certain amount of, I think 1 to 2 turns, I believe, if I remember correctly. So be careful when you're fighting Elizabeth. You essentially want to take out Meliodas as soon as possible and then focus on Elizabeth, because Elizabeth will heal and it does a lot of heals, so just note that. Tip, you can incapacitate Elizabeth with freeze skills. So yeah, you can basically use freeze on her and Meliodas. Basically, you can use freeze on her. She won't get out of that freeze for however long that usage is, but Meliodas can get out of it, so be careful with that. Phase 2, Meliodas' counter will affect against all skills. So any attack you do, he will counter. So essentially, you want to build up your ultimate twice. So what that means is that if you're using units that have really high damage with their ultimate, we will talk about those units. You essentially want to get your first ult out by freezing Meliodas quickly on first round, or like the first phase, then get your ultimate going back up while you're fighting Elizabeth. Once you have your ultimate again, try to get a 3-star freeze, because when you get into phase 2, you want to freeze Meliodas and ult him with whoever you have your ults with, like Escanor or Jericho, whoever you're going to use. And then that's going to take him out. And then Elizabeth is easy right after that. But Elizabeth carries a skill that can prevent all enemies from using buffs and debuffs. So essentially, I think you can't really use Arthur there. I'm not sure if the 3-star Arthur card will work there, but if you guys know, let me know in the comments below. But that could be very useful if you use him that way. Elizabeth's attack skill and Meliodas' ultimate move contain the ruin effect. Therefore, it is recommended to try and prevent your team from getting stacked with debuffs. So the more debuffs you have, the more damage they will be doing per debuff. So just be careful on that. So increase the damage dealt per debuff on the target and remove debuffs. There you go. So be careful with that. The rewards obviously will be right here. You will see, you can pause the video here if you guys want to see what you get. It's the same essential stuff that you get all the time from boss battle, so keep that in mind. As well as all the top 5% rewards and higher up will be these rewards, and then all the crowns and platinum crowns, whatever stuff like that. I honestly don't know what these rewards are for. Maybe it's just a trophy for you doing, you know, being #1 or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, placed in the top 50% will also receive the rewards from the top 70. For example, so top 5% will get you all those. Top 15% will get you 15% and 30% higher and stuff like that. So that's essentially that for the full counter, you know, raid. That final boss. It's not hard, but essentially to talk about some units, we're gonna go ahead and get into Gother. One reason why is because Gother can obviously do the rank ups, which is gonna be a fantastic thing to have. So make sure you use his rank ups as much as possible. His passive is really good because he can increase 10% on each turn as long as it doesn't take damage. So he can boost up your units to attack higher. He can get attacked, but be careful. Just try to, you know, play it right and see what you can do with your freezes. But Meliodas is most likely gonna attack him regardless, so it could be good and bad at the same time. Just depends on how you take your turns. Obviously his ultimate is really good as well. Then you have Estarossa. I actually like to try Estarossa. When he came out on the JP side, he was actually really good for this. The reason why is because it's full counter. So his full counter actually does a lot of damage. So if you have attack and defense gear on him, he does really good damage with this full counter. So essentially he taunts, so whoever is attacking will be attacking only him, which is really good. So he can take a lot of damage, and he heals himself back up essentially too. I think that's exactly how it works for his first card, which is really good because he doesn't take too much damage, and I don't think he heals himself unless you have a specific. I think lifesteal would work if you heal that way, which would really be really good. But for this card, as a 3-star card, I made a video before when the raid was out. You guys can go watch it. It's actually really good because he does a lot of damage, especially on Elizabeth. So keep that in mind. And obviously, the more damage or the more attacks they do, the more damage he will be doing based off this card. So keep that in mind. Really, really good card. And then his passive, it's allies have their debuffs removed when using stand skills. So basically, this is going to be removed, which is really good, just in case you get debuffed. Which is why Estarossa is very, very good. So that's one card you can try. Gother, obviously, we already talked about. The next unit would be Merlin. Merlin is actually going to be very fantastic for the freeze part, so keep that in mind. She's only there for the freeze. You can use her for this first skill, but I don't think she's going to really do much there because you can't really debuff or anything like that. But you can freeze. Like a really good freeze like this would be very fantastic to use, like a 3-star freeze, and then use someone's ultimate that's going to kill Meliodas. Then you're pretty much sailing right there. That's easy, simple, and easy to go from there. So use Merlin if possible, if you have her. If not, you can try Gustav. I'm not sure if he's gonna survive because of like his low stats, but you can try it. We'll see. Next unit, Escanor. Obviously, you know why Escanor is the #1 damage dealer here. So if you have Escanor, make sure to use him. I will try Dairy if I pull her because I know she's actually gonna be very good for that as well. And point system is different with how Global does it compared to JP. Every team can be pretty different. A lot of teams are ran differently, so we'll see how that goes whenever it comes out. But essentially, you want to get his ultimate as fast as possible. Escanor is the highest damage dealer for your team, so you're essentially going to go for his ult, freeze with Merlin, ult Meliodas, and then essentially build your ult back up fighting Elizabeth, and try to get his ultimate as soon as possible for Escanor for the next turn, and try to get freezes to at least level 2-star or 3-star at most. At least if you can, and then basically just ult with Escanor, and you should be good there. But essentially, just do as much damage as you can with him. He's pretty self-explanatory. Just do damage with him. He removes buffs and stuff like that, so he's really good for that reason. So you can try him. Now, if you don't have Escanor, right? If you don't have Escanor, you can still use someone who's still really good for this. It's going to be Jericho. So the reason why Jericho is still really good is because she's going to be having her ultimate as a spike, so that's a 2x crit damage increase. So if you're running crit damage gear with her, she's essentially going to do a lot of damage because of her ultimate, and if you have her with Gila, she will be doing even more damage. So try to go for that. You most likely should have her 6/6 but at this point, so you should be doing at least 960% damage of attack on one enemy. So if you're attacking Meliodas, this is basically going to be a one-shot when you freeze them as well. And of course, a really good thing is with her, she has a weak point. She does 3x damage against debuffed enemies. So if you are debuffing at some point, I don't even think you can properly debuff. But if you could, she could be good for that reason. But essentially, her main thing is going to be that ult. Now, with that as well, she does increase crit chance by 10% per hero skill use. So she's going to be doing more damage based on the crit chance. And obviously, more crit chance, more crit damage, so and so on. So essentially, it just flows through like that. So Jericho is going to be a very good unit to try there. Now, I don't know exactly if this is going to happen. I don't know exactly how it's going to work with her. But when she does come out, this unit, Dairy Airy, with her second skill as a basic stats boost, when you do her 2-star or 3-star, she has evasion as well. Evasion. So essentially, she can be dodging attacks for the one turn, right? Which is going to be really good. But her basic stats increase, which is going to do even more for her because her first skill attack does a lot of damage itself. And then her ultimate is Amplify, which is going to do damage dealt plus 30% per active buff on self. So essentially, her second skill is a buff. The more buffs she puts on herself, the more damage she does with her ultimate, which is why she's going to be a fantastic unit. So you'll see how that goes whenever she comes out, you know, whenever actually she's probably gonna be out right before or right when the final boss battle goes out. So we'll definitely be summoning for that and then going into the final boss battle stuff. So yeah, hopefully you guys do understand. I hope you guys are excited for all the stuff that is going to be coming along. If you guys are, let me know in the comments below. I will be trying to get as many videos out as possible. Hopefully you guys are still sticking around and watching these videos. If you guys are, let me know in the comments below. Drop a like onto today's video. If you guys enjoy these, make sure to go ahead and subscribe and share all these videos to Twitter, Instagram, anywhere that you are on social media, so you guys can get all this knowledge out to everyone who needs help with final boss battle and just the game in general, for, you know, normal play or top playing. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Have a great day.